Okay, so we're here at the Live Entertainment exhibition in Tokyo, and again I've got my racks and everything set up, and I thought I would do the old tour again. So this is a live event-based show, it's not a broadcast show, so the racks are mostly the same, just probably changed a bit of the way that we'd actually explain it to people. The main things that we'd have here is the stage rack, so we've got the compact in there, we've got a couple of panels, and then what I'm going to call the stage management desk, which is here. The Genelec here is going to be a paging zone, and I'll get back to that in a sec. Then over on this side we have the MCR, where we'd have a couple of microns doing their thing. We also have the artist node, and I've got the sound panel in here, so this is going to be the sound related panel. We've got Bolero set up as well with 4 belt packs, and again I'll speak to those in a second. So let's and then so lastly is a broadcast or streaming center. So I would probably be talking about this in terms of streaming an event, or maybe doing a recording or an archival recording. So again, so the Blackmagic fits probably even better here. So we've got players and we've got the cameras set up as per usual. So let's now have a quick look at the stage manager, because in reality this is probably where I'd be spending the bulk of the time explaining things if it was a production person or a stage manager, obviously. So compact, I'm not going to go into the compact, but yeah, usually we start here and say this is your main stage box, this is your patch panel, blah-de-blah. This is the only thing you need to have on stage, and of course it's mobile with the fiber, with redundancy, and put all that usually in there. The stage manager is the person who is doing all the calls, and they're usually quite busy, so the point here is to say, hey look, with one panel and with one bit of training, you can do all of your intercom, you can talk to people individually, but we can also do your paging. So the Genelec up the top there is set up as an IFB, so if I press the IFB it's coming out the top there. I've turned it down for now, but we can also use the edit IFB to be setting which background music that they're going to be listening to. So it's a nice little thing for them to do paging and announcements, and also background music to dressing rooms and such, which is a pretty common feature. Over here I've got a button to basically switch between the main mic and speaker and a Bolero belt pack, so that we've got access to that. Standard comms over here, and then of course you've got your video switching here, so we have SMD main, so they can have program, camera 1, camera 2, whatever they basically want to have switching out here. So I've made a multi-viewer though. A couple of quick notes on the multi-viewer: we do have a clock, and I've also got a count up and a count down timer, which is also accessible from the smart panel. So those are there. Cool. Okay, so that's the stage manager's panel. Lighting is just a standard intercom panel, but we're just showing off the colours and the kanji and such there. Sound as well. We've got listens to features here, and all the standard stuff that you'd have here. In terms of the broadcast, this wouldn't be such a big thing for us. It would be just about saying, hey look, with a relatively small system you could actually start doing your streaming at a pretty high professional level. So it would probably be showing, hey, here's your program out, now we're going to switch to this and whatever, and it's all seamless switching, blah de blah. We have a little intercom panel here for the broadcast guy that can talk to everyone directly. And then one of these recorders over here will actually be set up as a recorder, so if I hit record here we can say, hey look, you can do your archival recording pretty quickly, and if I start switching over here you'll see that that's going to switch from Bolero over here back to the camera. So that's a pretty common feature that people would want to have. Simple, easy recording that they can then dump out there. So the only other thing to mention really is the Bolero pack for the stage manager. You see here it has the standard things, so call, stage, lighting, sound, but room 1 and room 2 are those same IFB calls to paging. That's something that's shown up in a couple of theatres, which is really useful. The Arts Centre Melbourne is probably the biggest one that uses that, and the stage managers love that, to be able to page 2 or 3 of their paging zones from their wireless belt pack, so they're not connected. And then of course this is using Peter Siebert's trick of connecting the audio to and from the belt pack to the panel, so it becomes like a panel extension. So that there is the setup for live entertainment. I can see I've got an issue with that lighting panel, so I've got to work on that now. Okay, cheers.